Welcome back to Worldwide, and it's time for AskWCW.com, and you know the drill by now. Point your browser to WCW.com, find the Worldwide link, and send us your question. Could be for yours truly, could be for Mike today, could be
for me?
What?
The question of the week. AskWCW.com.
It is. It's from Scott Hudson of Atlanta, Georgia. Do you ever shut up?
What?
It's from Gloria Jacobs.
What does she want to know?
Streamwood, Illinois.
I love that part of the country.
She's got a question for the cat. And here's Gloria's question. Your feet look big on TV.
Your feet? What? Feet look... You know what they say. Big feet, big shoes.
Big shoes. I didn't finish the question. Your feet look big on TV.
Don't let me interrupt you, whatever you do.
What size shoe do you wear for the cat? Gloria, here's your answer.
What size shoe does he wear?
Big shoes.
Thanks, Gloria, for your question on what size are my shoes. I do have big feet. So they size 13. Why you want to know that? I don't know, but there's the answer. 13s.
So it's a size 13.
They never have any questions for me. I mean, I'm the professor. I'm the guy that has all the answers, and yet not once have we had one AskWCW.com segment where they've asked me a question. What size shoe do you wear?
It's only an hour show.
Yeah.
Are you finished?
Go right ahead.
Gloria, thank you for your question. The cat a little short with his answer, but you get a Worldwide T-shirt.
What?
And if we use your question on the air...
She gets a T-shirt for asking the size of the man's shoe? I mean, what's the question next week? Mean Gene, what size shorts do you wear? I mean, we've set a precedent here.
Gloria, you get a world... Oh, have you been wearing this one? Yeesh. Gloria, congratulations. If you send us your address on your AskWCW.com question, we'll send you a T-shirt. Maybe we'll
check the size on that one.
Get her a new one.
Be my shirt.
Please, let's get back to the program. You know, the holiday season is over. One of the rocket to the top gifts this past Christmas, Goldberg's book, I'm Next. And Goldberg, as part of his book tour, went all over the country.
Everywhere.
A satellite tour pumping up the surefire bestseller, I'm Next. We take a look at the man, Goldberg, and his book, I'm Next.
I'm Next by Goldberg and Goldberg, and it's something I never envisioned that I would have done, like becoming a professional wrestler. But there have been some strange things happen throughout my life, and I come from a pretty non-traditional background as far as wrestling is concerned. So I figured there were a couple people out there who'd be interested in hearing it.
Your book, to me, is highly entertaining, and it's obviously easy reading. Was it a struggle for you to do this, or was it as casual as it appears in the finished product?
I'll tell you what, I almost killed my brother throughout this process. We actually didn't talk for about 2 months towards the end of it, but no, it was very, very difficult. We tried to reinvent the wheel. We did it a very primitive way of writing a book. There must have been 50 rewrites, but if nobody went out and bought this book, I would be just as pleased with my brother and I's performance because we accomplished something that we set out to do.
Now, a lot of people make mention of the fact, and as you do in your book, about the fact that you're a Jewish wrestler. Now, are you a Jewish wrestler, or are you a wrestler who happens to be Jewish?
Well, they're the same thing to me, so...
You will not wrestle on Yom Kippur?
No, nor would I play football on Yom Kippur or anything like that, no. Not at all.
But are you necessarily a religious man?
No, not at all. I don't profess to be. I was born a Goldberg, and I'll always be a Goldberg, and it's something that I'm never going to hide. It's a matter of fact, if you'll look at the back of my book, you'll see that I'm as proud of it as anybody can be. No question about it. And I stand for something that the faith needs. You know, a lot of people think that we're all doctors and lawyers and politicians. Not the case. Once you realize where I came from, you know, the son of an obstetrician and a son of a concert violinist, I mean, it's not the usual path that you would think that a little Jewish boy from Tulsa, Oklahoma would take.
Growing up, always wanted to play football. Was that the story?
Yeah, no doubt. My two older brothers played ball. My brother Steve, actually, who wrote this book with me, played for the Raiders, I think, for about 30 minutes. But that's all I ever wanted to do, no question. And when I was a kid, man, I used to go to all the games, and that's all I I lived football. That was it. I mean, there was nothing else in my life or my future other than football.
If you hadn't been hurt in a football game, would you still be playing football for somebody?
I'd still be standing on the sidelines probably.
Really?
I don't think I'd still be playing. Of course, I was never playing, even when I was healthy, actually. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to play. I was fortunate enough to be vested in the NFL and get the pension. But I fulfilled a lifelong dream of mine. But I was, by no stretch of the imagination, an all-pro.
When you got hurt, how quick of a decision was it to make the leap to professional wrestling?
Well, that decision came after about 2 years of thinking. It was definitely not something that I wanted to jump right into. It was one of the furthest things from my mind, along with being a fire eater and a sword swallower, probably. It took me a long time, but once I decided that I was going to take that direction, I studied and I got prepared before I even stepped in the ring, so that I had an advantage. And even when I got into it, Sting and Lex Luger, approached me time and time again, and one conversation we had was Sting said, well, you're going to have to go down to the power plant and wrestle for a while, for about 3-4 months, and learn the trade. I said, you know what? I play professional football. I'm an athlete, man. I'll go down for about 3-4 weeks, just like that. No problem. Well, after about a week, I had a couple broken ribs just from running the ropes. So, go figure, this big, tough football player was cringing. It taught me a lot. I definitely have the respect for everybody in this business, because not only does it take a lot to go out there and put your integrity, yourself out there in front of millions of people, but your athletic ability is judged at the same time. So, I'm competing with myself every single day.
One by one, boys! No one's safe!
Did you watch wrestling as a kid growing up in Tulsa? And if so, who were the guys that you followed?
I watched a little bit of it, no question about it. Every Saturday night I watched Texas Championship Wrestling, as a matter of fact. That was a long time ago, but I watched it for the sheer entertainment of it. I liked Tony Atlas because he was this big muscle-bound guy, but I really liked Bruiser Brody. He was the epitome of professional wrestling, how I saw it.
Along those lines, because there are lots of kids who watch you. Do you see yourself as a role model for kids?
If they put me in that position, yeah. In reality, they may look at me like that, and I take that responsibility with open arms, no question about it. I think that we need good role models in this world, no question.
What would you like people to take away, perhaps as a message, if you can sum it up, from your book, I'm Next: The Strange Journey of America's Unlikely Superhero?
Perseverance, man. You may not attain your goals or your dreams. They may never come true, but there's always another way to succeed. And don't ever let anybody ever tell you can't do something, because you can do anything that you put your mind to. Just give it 1,000%, and something good will happen. Because I never would have imagined I'd be doing what I'm doing now. But thank God I got the opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it. And did I mention I was writing a book?
Welcome back to WCW Worldwide, my favorite segment in the show. It's the Professor's Pick of the Week, and here's Mike Tenay.
Scott, I think many of our WCW Worldwide viewers are probably under the impression that intergender matchups are something that's just taken place or just come into vogue within the past year or so. That's obviously not the case. There have been men wrestling women in professional wrestling probably dating back some 50 years. We're going to, however, take you back 4 years. To March of 1996. This is from the uncensored pay-per-view, and it pits Colonel Parker, at the time the manager of Bunkhouse Buck and Dirty Dick Slater, against Medusa. So it's man versus woman. We're headed back to Tupelo, Mississippi, and uncensored for Colonel... Wait a minute. Somebody gimmicked my remote control.
Look, I'll call you right back. Here we go. Sorry. Let me have that. There we go.
That's better. Let's take you back. March 1996. This is uncensored. Colonel Parker versus Medusa.
Next weekend at Sin on pay-per-view, the franchise Shane Douglas gets a shot at the United States Heavyweight Championship. But, Mike, he's in our worldwide exclusive this week as a tune-up.
Yeah, this tune-up that the franchise Shane Douglas has is against a very tough competitor by the name of Screamin' Norman Smiley, and he shouldn't be looking past Smiley to sin. However, when he does, he'll see a match that, well, it's as much about personal issues as it is the United States heavyweight title. Think back to the problems involving the meal ticket of the franchise and that horrible accident with General Rection. A lot of heat as we head into Sin and the U.S. title match between the two.
Like a steamroller to Indianapolis next weekend at Sin, Shane Douglas, the franchise, is ready for the General. But first, he's got to get past the screaming hardcore wiggler. It's our exclusive match here on Worldwide. He says he's hardcore all over again, Mike. Norman Smiley coming to the ring.
Well, the former hardcore champion of World Championship Wrestling, Screamin' Norman Smiley, has decided that he wants to get back in the title picture. Maybe it's for the hardcore championship, but regardless, Screamin' Norman realizes that a victory in this matchup is of the utmost importance because he's set to go one-on-one with the franchise, Shane Douglas.
Franchise next weekend at Sin gets a shot at the United States Heavyweight Championship.
That's more than just a match for the U.S. title, however.
Of course.
When Shane Douglas goes one-on-one at Sin against General Rection.
Remember, the franchise blames the General for costing him his meal ticket, that blonde bombshell that used to accompany the franchise to the ring.
I think we all know that was just a horrible accident.
Of course.
That injured the girlfriend of the franchise, Shane Douglas, and he places the blame firmly and squarely on the shoulders of General Rection. It's more than a U.S. title match. The personal issues, the personal heat between the two is off the charts.
Shane Douglas, as always, has grabbed the microphone and no doubt will grace us with some of his wisdom.
Cut the music!
Not a good start.
Well, they cut the music at least.
I would too.
I've had a long career in this sport, and the proudest thing in that career is the fact that I never had to work in a stinking place called Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, he's here now.
Was he with the Chamber of Commerce?
And I ain't happy being here tonight either, and I don't get paid by the hour. So because I gotta be in front of a bunch of inbred morons like you, I'm gonna take it out on him. Norman, it's time you got your franchise.
Norman seems a bit nonplussed by that threat from Shane Douglas.
Maybe wrong place, wrong time for Norman Smiley.
And what's wrong with Memphis? One of the greatest towns in America. You got Beale Street down there.
You got Graceland.
I've already been with the Graceland earlier today.
You got Elvis's airplane.
Yeah.
And his tour bus.
The Lisa Marie. Exactly.
This is a garden spot.
It is.
What a great tourist attraction it is.
The tourist capital of West Tennessee.
Good barbecue.
Oh, please. Down at the Rendezvous. Downtown. Stay at the Peabody, watch the Ducks walk across the floor. Anyway, enough about Memphis.
Excuse me? What does that have to do with barbecue?
Next weekend at Sin. In that huge card. Let's not forget also that Sugar Shane Helms finally gets his shot at the Cruiserweight title from Chavo Guerrero Jr.
And very deserving is the member of 3 Count.
Welcome back to Worldwide, and right now my favorite segment on the show, with the possible exception of the pick of the week, it's AskWCW.com. You know the drill. Find WCW.com, find the Worldwide link. Email us your question for a WCW superstar if we use your question on the air, and if you send us your snail mail address, you will get this WCW Worldwide t-shirt. Look at this high-quality product, I tell you.
Yeah, the budget has really been kicked up for 2001, hasn't it?
Have you been wearing this?
What are you talking about? No, never.
That smells like a locker room. Anyway, AskWCW.com. Last week, I know, Mike, today you were teary-eyed in the green room because nobody is asking you questions on AskWCW.com.
No, that wasn't it at all. I was just upset that now that we have big prizes like the t-shirt, that someone asked a question about the cat's shoe size and that they want a shirt for that.
Yeah? What's your point?
I want to get some questions that make sense.
Toward that end, we've got 2 questions for the professor himself, Mike Tenay.
2 for me this week?
2 for you this week. I didn't know they had Prison's computer system up and running down there in Jackson, Mississippi. Chris Walker has written in. His question for Mike Tenay is this one. This is the first of 2. I would like to know, with all of the young talent in World Championship Wrestling, who do you think has the best chance of being a future WCW World Champion? That's a good question, actually.
It's a terrific question. I think probably most of our viewers would think that I'd concentrate on a group like the Natural Born Thrillers, and certainly in Sean Stasiak, in Chuck Palumbo, in Mike Sanders, Mark Jindrak. There's plenty of young talent there, and especially, I think, as far as Sean O'Hare goes, as well as Chuck Palumbo, possibly in the future. But I think it's going to be a great 2001 for Team Canada, because in Mike Awesome, as well as Lance Storm, I think those are probably the 2 people that I would look to be World's Heavyweight Champion. And Scott, I think I've narrowed it down, and Lance Storm is obviously a great technical wrestler, great mat wrestling, so much in-ring expertise, but I'm going to have to go with the big man, Mike Awesome, 6'6", 280 pounds, over 10 years of experience. I've narrowed it down. It's going to be Mike Awesome as my choice for a future World's Heavyweight Champion. Scott. Scott. Mike Awesome.
Mike Awesome.
You have a second question for me?
Second question. I'm sorry.
I like this. AskMikeTenay.com.
No, it's not. It's AskWCW.com, please.
Well, whatever. That's this week.
Brent Carty of St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada, with our second question for the professor here on Worldwide, writes in. Here we go. What made you want to become a wrestling announcer, and who were your big influences? Another good question.
2 very, very good questions. Well, let me think about this for a second. Well, I think like most WCW broadcasters, it was because I was a wrestling fan for so many years. As far as influences go, well, I grew up in Southern California, and the preeminent wrestling announcer of the 1950s and 1960s was Dick Lane. Certainly I was influenced by him.
The Night Train, Dick Lane.
No relation to the football player at all.
No.
In the 70s and 80s, of course, the proliferation of cable around the country, and we all really grew accustomed to the voice of Gordon Soley, the late dean of all the WCW announcers. So I would have to say probably those would be my biggest influences. Scott, did I ever tell you about how I broke into professional wrestling as an announcer?
Not today.
Well, it was great. You know, I was working in Las Vegas and happened to be, well, invited to be the host of a radio program. Went from there, was a national radio show. From there, joined World Championship Wrestling. How about, remember 1994 when Worlds Collide? Mm-hmm. What a great pay-per-view that event was. Introduced not only myself, but a lot of the luchadors to a World Championship Wrestling.
Brent, thanks for your question.
You know, and then I was thinking back, remember Steve Mongo McMichael?
Oh.
He used to be on the Nitro broadcast team, but then it was September of 1996 when I replaced Mongo.
Mongo McMichael.
And, you know, in addition to this worldwide broadcast, I'm on Thunder, Nitro, the pay-per-views. How about those internationals that we do every week as well?
International broadcasting here in World Championship Wrestling.
So really, that's it as far as the history goes. Now, other influences, you'd have to consider Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
I mean, our broadcast colleague.
Of course.
I remember when I was just a young child and watched Tony, and obviously he's been a big influence to me as well.
A young child.
Yes.
Great. So you've got Jimmy Lennon, Ed Whalen, Barry Richards. Who else did you say?
Did I mention Gene Okerlund?
You did not.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Mean Gene as well.
Let that be a lesson to you fans and viewers of Worldwide. Don't ask questions of the professor, Mike Tenay.
I thought it was AskMikeTenay.com.
We're going to try and fire that up next week. But when we come back on Worldwide, we're going to have an exclusive review.
2001, the year of the professor.
I think it's the year of the chicken.
Really has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Speaking of a ring, when we come back, Sin, preview, and hot WCW news. Don't go anywhere. Alfred Healy's very Richard. Be on. Like this edition of Worldwide couldn't get any bigger. We've got a cruiserweight title defense right now. Chavo Guerrero Jr. is the cruiserweight champion. We saw his change of attitude when he left the Misfits in action straight to the top of their cruiserweight ranks. At Starrcade, Shannon Moore and Sugar Shane Helms of 3 Count both won the #1 contenders match. We had the Battle of 3 Count. Sugar Shane Helms won that. He gets a shot Sunday night. But, Mike, in the interim, Chavo Guerrero Jr. has not lacked for contenders, including today.
And, Scott, I don't think it's any coincidence that ever since Chavo Guerrero Jr. cut all ties, had his difference in philosophy with the Misfits in action, that he has gained championship gold. I think many people today feel that strength in numbers is the way to attack in World Championship Wrestling. Chavo Jr. has done a complete 180, going on his own, and you cannot doubt that he's been very successful to date.
The Cruiserweight champion, Chavo Guerrero Jr., puts it on the line against Evan Courageous. This is exclusive worldwide action. And the challenger makes his way to the ring. What an opportunity, Mike, for young Evan Courageous.
A golden opportunity for Evan Courageous to garner championship gold. He's no stranger to the championship belt, especially the one that he's challenging for tonight, the WCW World's Cruiserweight title. He's been there before. Can he get back to the top of the mountain against Chavo Guerrero Jr.?
It was about 1 year ago, a little more actually, that Evan Courageous was the king of the Cruiserweights in World Championship Wrestling. Concentrating on tag team action since that time, but now with a shot at this man, the champion, the standard bearer for the under 225 crowd, Chavo Guerrero Jr.
And when you talked about Evan Courageous concentrating on tag team wrestling, I think that's where Chavo Guerrero Jr. has the advantage in this matchup, as well as the title defense if he's successful here on Worldwide this week. That's set up for him Sunday at the Big Sin pay-per-view event. There's that new attitude of Chavo Jr.
Absolutely, and two new handprints in the chest of Evan Courageous would watch Evan from behind with a right hand, and we're off. Cruiserweight title at stake here on a Sin weekend. Off the ropes with a back body drop.
Look at the offense by Evan Courageous even before the opening bell, but he walked right into the high boot from Chavo Jr.
Oh! Wow! Chavo Jr. over the top.
Wow, he just bulled him down to the mat. I thought he was going to go for a sleeper hold. He just grabbed him around the neck and drove him down to the canvas. He just neutralizing him. Back elbows. Finally, the third one broke the move. Drop kick was on the button.
Oh, that was stiff. Right in the chest and the jaw. Chavo Guerrero Jr., this is a new attitude. This is not the Lieutenant Loco of the lunchboxes and shoehorn brigade. This is a guy who wants to keep a hard-won title.
And that's the key to his success. No longer aligned with the misfits in action. The double leg takedown by Evan Courageous, and he starts raining in the right hands, and look at Chavo Jr.
The rolling mount from Chavo and Evan, they are laying them in high and tight, these two. This isn't your typical cruiserweight fare. Not a lot of high flying.
Yeah, far from a cruiserweight matchup that we expected. We thought there was going to be plenty of activity off the top rope. High-risk moves, high-risk offense, but there's really been none of that. Oh, but it's been intense.
Count your teeth, Evan Courageous. Chavo, a little free dentist work for the former member of 3 Count. Knife edge chops in the chest. On a Sin weekend, Chavo looks ready.
Laying in those chops. You see the fingerprints on the chest of Courageous, and Chavo Jr. sends him in back first into the turnbuckles.
Watch Chavo out of the corner. Suplex attempt blocked by Evan. Evan, no. Chavo plants him on the middle turnbuckle. Oh, Evan, hung out to dry. That'll take your breath away.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for Evan Courageous. Trapped in the corner, the recipient of that drop kick from Chavo Jr. Now, the other thing that's really impressed me about this young man, no longer just reliant on one move like that tornado DDT. We've seen him add in recent weeks the frog splash as well as the brain buster to his artillery, to his repertoire of finishing moves. It's made him even more dangerous.
But you saw him waste time playing to the crowd, letting Evan Courageous get whatever second win he has left. Chavo may have had this one in the bag, but he went over to the corner, playing to the crowd, the beauty shot, if you will, letting Evan get back a little bit of second win. Evan's still got some fight in it.
Yeah, but I think it's Chavo Jr. just showing the confidence level that he has attained since cutting the cord, since cutting all ties with the misfits in action, going out on his own, being successful, and now trying to retain that championship belt.
But don't forget also, Evan Courageous has Jamie Noble, who at any time could come out and equalize or rather neutralize Chavo Guerrero. Chavo is his own man. No one's watching his back. Baseball slide through the wicket up top. Oh, spine buster from Evan Courageous. Quick lateral press. Hooks an air leg 2 count on the Cruiserweight champion.
Well, there still was some fire left in Evan Courageous. He just planted the champion with the spine buster. Went for the pin. Here's a roll up by Chavo.
Float out by Evan. Oh, the right hand from Chavo Jr.
The look on the face of Chavo Jr. really tells the whole story. The intensity that he has in this matchup against Evan Courageous, connecting with the back suplex.
Across, lateral press. Chavo Guerrero, a 2 count on Evan Courageous. Earlier on, we saw Ric Flair and Roddy Piper in the pick of the week. This is not Ric Flair and Roddy Piper.
No, but when you talk about an intensity level, much as we saw in that matchup with Piper and Flair, these two youngsters are really taking it to each other, and of course the cruiserweight gold is at stake.
Well, this is more like Flair and Piper, an exchange of right hands, just tattooing the opponent. I am really amazed that both men could adjust their style away from the high-flying cruiserweight type we've seen before. They're just fighting. They're just brawling all over the place.
Evan Courageous able to get the boots up at the last minute. Here's a high-risk move, cross-body block, and he hit it perfectly.
Hooks the far leg, and no, Chavo Guerrero that close to losing the cruiserweight title. That title is at stake in this matchup. If Evan Courageous should somehow win the cruiserweight title, and he may after that power slam.
Here we go.
Lateral press, though. Chavo rolled a shoulder, did not kick out. Chavo has been slowed. Evan Courageous would take over the bookings, I assume, and Sunday night, Evan would defend against Sugar Shane Helms, or would Chavo demand a rematch?
Oh, face jam, that time out of a reversal. Great counter by Evan Courageous, but instead of going for the pin, instead of going for the championship, he's driving the Cadillac.
Looks like he's trying out for the Chippendale Dancer. Lateral press, no, and a 2 count. That was Evan Courageous walking away from the cruiserweight title. Lapsing time.
Yeah, lapse in concentration certainly hurt him. Let's see if Chavo Jr. can now take advantage and keep the belt.
Float out escape, go behind by Evan Courageous. Reversal by Chavo. Sets up Evan. This may be the brain buster. Got it! Evan Courageous. Is he still conscious? I don't know, but he is counted out. Chavo Guerrero Jr. wins it.
One of the new moves that he's added to that offensive display, the Brainbuster, keeps the title with Chavo Jr. And you know who's next up.
Absolutely, it's Sugar Shane Helms Sunday night at Sin. Keep your eye out on this athlete. Chavo Guerrero Jr. loves having the gold. He's going to hang on to it for all he's worth.
Tough test Sunday at Sin, though, for Chavo Jr. against Sugar Shane.
Chavo Guerrero Jr. emerges with the cruiserweight title intact, Mike, but Sunday night, what a challenge he has in Sugar Shane Helms.
As one of the members of 3 Count, Sugar Shane has certainly revolutionized tag team wrestling. Is he going to be as successful in singles competition with the pressure of a title belt at stake and no tag team partner? There's going to be no Shannon Moore. Sugar Shane, you're on your own against Chavo Jr. for the cruiserweight title.
That goes down Sunday night at Sin on pay-per-view. 3-way dance for the World Heavyweight Championship. Scott Steiner. Will it be Sid Vicious or Jeff Jarrett? And who is the mystery man? We'll find out Sunday night. The streak of Goldberg is on the line. The tag team titles at stake. U.S. title, cruiserweight title, hardcore title. They're all up for grabs. It goes down Sunday night in Indianapolis. It's the inaugural Sin pay-per-view. We'll be there. We hope to see you in Indy or on pay-per-view next week. Here on Worldwide, it's the return of real-time wrestling, and Bam Bam Bigelow takes on Big Vito in a worldwide exclusive. You don't want to miss it. For the Professor, Mike Tenay, I'm Scott Hudson. See you Sunday night at Sin. Welcome back to WCW Worldwide, Mike. The crossover publicity enjoyed by WCW superstars going straight through the roof. Look at your newsstand. Find the Playboy with Gabrielle Reese on the cover.
Gabrielle Reese on the cover of Playboy. Let me think.
Yeah, it's the one you've got dog ear down in the basement.
You know those staples always get in the way.
Try the back teen. That'll clear that right up.
Okay.
Goldberg profiled with his book, I'm Next. That's the Playboy with Gabby Reese on the cover. While you're there, find the Source magazine and Black Men Today magazine with features on Booker T, our former world champion. And speaking of Booker, February 1st on the WB, Charmed with Alyssa Milano. Wow. How about that one? Booker T, our world champion Scott Steiner, and Buff Bagwell, of all people, guest starring on Charmed. That's February 1st and February 1st one more time. It's A&E, Behind Closed Doors with Joan London. She came to the power plant, learned a few moves, came to a Thunder taping. You don't want to miss it. February 1st, behind closed doors with Joan London. All the magazines, the Playboy, the Source, Black Men Today. While you're at your newsstand, also take a look for WCW Magazine, Mike.
You've got to check this out as long as you're at the newsstand. Check out World Championship Wrestling Magazine. In-depth features on all the superstars, columns from announcers and wrestlers. I recently had a column on Shawn Stasiak and how he had swerved me. Yeah, I fell hook, line, and sinker when Stasiak said that he was going to disassociate himself with the natural-born thrillers in that effort with Coach Kevin Nash. Well, speaking of Stasiak, let's go to this video feature. Let's go up close and personal with Perfection, Shawn Stasiak.
Shawn Stasiak, 6'5", 260 pounds. I've pretty much been an athlete all my life. I wrestled all through high school, was a 3-time provincial champion, placed second and third in the Canadian National Freestyle Championships, went on to Boise State University where I competed in the Pac-10s and placed in the top 10 at the NCAAs. I made my debut this year, had a very successful outing with a legend, Kurt Hennig, later became a tag team champion for WCW. Growing up in a wrestling household, my dad being Stan the Man Stasiak, we traveled all over the United States and Canada, being yanked in and out of school districts all your life. Never really growing up in one community was tough, but I wouldn't trade it for the world because it's a very unique industry and I'm very proud to be part of it. Before I'm finished with this business, before I'm satisfied, before I'm content, before I ever leave this business, I will one day be a world champion.
It's already been an amazing success story for that second-generation competitor, Shawn Stasiak. Here in WCW, he's held the World Tag Team titles, and Scott, I don't think there's any question that he feels that a World's Heavyweight title reign is in his future.
I don't question that at all. He's got the skills, he's got the pedigree to make it to the very top of WCW. Hey, next month in WCW Magazine, I've got an exclusive feature on Shawn Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo, the perfect event. That's next month in WCW Magazine. And next segment on Worldwide, it's the Professor's Pick of the Week. Don't go anywhere. Back to Worldwide. It's exclusive in-ring action. Bam Bam Bigelow is here. We'll see him next. Back in the Worldwide Arena, and Bam Bam Bigelow is in the house. Mike, he looks bigger than ever.
Scott Hudson, the beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, nearing the 400-pound mark, and he is certainly going to have a sizable weight and power advantage over his opponent this week in this Worldwide exclusive when he goes one-on-one with Staten Island's own Big Vito.
I don't think Bam Bam would appreciate being called a 400-pound mark.
What? I said he was nearing the 400-pound mark.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. The Beast is in the house, and he does not look happy. That is not a good thing.
Never a good thing when the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, has his game face on, and he certainly does because he knows that it's time to go to war with Big Vito.
Big Vito currently embroiled in a bitter blood feud with his brother Reno. Reno, fresh out of the joint, trying to worm his way back into the family, La Familia.
Certainly,
and we saw his true color.
Yeah, we certainly did, and maybe the shortest-lived tag team in WCW history when the two brothers, Big Vito and Reno, were together at Starrcade. What did it last? One match? Not even that.
Not even one match. But you know that Staten Island blood is boiling. Inside the Paisan, Big Vito, and Bam Bam Bigelow looks nonplussed and unimpressed by the current situation involving Big Vito. All he sees is a target.
Yeah, I'm certainly interested in seeing what type of offensive attack that Big Vito has in mind. What strategy, what kind of a game plan is he going to employ against the much larger man when he looks across the ring at Bam Bam Bigelow? What a force Bigelow is.
Both men trying to work their way back into title contention and back up the ranks of WCW. Super Brawl Revenge coming up next month on pay-per-view. These men would love to be a part of the extravaganza.
Well, you're right when you talk about moving up that ladder of success in WCW. A victory in this exclusive worldwide matchup is going to go a long way for one of these two individuals. to work their way up that WCW talent roster and probably into contention for title shots.
Well, what we're seeing right now are two men trying to psych each other out.
Mind games is what it is between these two.
And I don't think either one of these guys, let's say, did too well in school. They're brawlers. They're fighters.
Yeah, I don't think we have any 4.0 students between Bam Bam Bigelow or Big Vito.
Not hardly. Arm wringer into an armbar reversal. Now armbar by Big Vito up into the top wrist lock. Oh, wrenching in deep on the beast.
Yeah, but when it comes to wrestling knowledge, they are A+. Armbar, that time applied by Vito. Smart move by Bigelow. A little weary here in the early going. Bigelow testing him, using the top ring rope for the break, and back to the basics with the side headlock by Vito.
Bigelow, the former hardcore champion. Vito, former hardcore champion himself, and what a shoulder block. Down goes Vito. Down goes Vito one more time. Bam Bam says it's too easy.
Almost
Step over.
You see that almost non-close. He didn't see that drop toe hold that came out of nowhere.
Did you see the ropes almost give? Whoa, from deep underneath with the right hand. Big Vito sets him up, measures him, levels him with the clothesline.
Well, the first two shots rocked Bigelow, and then it was the running lariat springing off the ropes that took the big man down. And yes, Bigelow rolls out to the floor to slow down this offensive assault.
He is hot, and Vito is hotter.
Look out.
He may smell blood. Vito from behind. Got him with the right hand.
There's a wake-up call, and another one. That one was on the chin.
Knocking out what's left of Bigelow's teeth, and there goes those ribs into that guardrail. Oh, and Bigelow's had enough.
Look at how he fights back. Oh, and he just sent Vito into the safety rail, face first.
Vito beak first into the cold hard steel. Wait a minute, watch these steel ring steps.
Oh! Very unforgiving steel ring steps, and again, Vito this time head first into the steps.
Wow, Vito, is Vito conscious? Is he moving? Yeah. He's moving, barely.
He's up to his knees at this point, and Bigelow looks confident as he sends him into the ring. I think Bam Bam feels that it's time to finish him off.
It may be. Vito has been noticeably slowed. This is when Bigelow is his most dangerous. When the opponent is vulnerable, Bigelow, thought he was going for the greetings from Asbury Park, but just a full scoop slam.
Bigelow bad-mouthing Vito, then the scoop and a slam, and look at this. 400 pounds headed to the top. How many times do you see this?
Good night. Call the air traffic control.
That's probably why you don't see it very often. It's not that effective. It takes Bam Bam so long to get to the top. Vito. He recovered. Series of rights to the jaw again that rocked Bigelow again.
Shoots Bigelow into the ropes. Waits on it. Big clothesline from Big Vito. Quickly down. Lateral presses it over to and no. Bigelow rolled his shoulder, but Vito quickly back into the ropes. Going to drop the leg across the face.
Going to try it again.
Quickly down. Lateral press. Bar leg. Hook and no. 2.5 count for Vito.
Did you notice when Vito goes for the pin, the absolute mass of the chest of Bam Bam Bigelow makes it very difficult for a 240-pounder like Vito to even make the cover.
What a whip. Oh, standing sidekick got him right in the chest. That'll take your breath away. Vito ducked the clothesline. Bam Bam doubles him up. One to the midsection.
Yeah, not able to avoid that boot to the midsection, and now Bigelow very methodical in his efforts.
No.
And that may have hurt him as well because it was blocked once, blocked the second time by Vito.
Vito blocked the suplex. He's going to suplex Bigelow!
I don't believe it.
Unbelievable strength.
They got him up in the air and took him over.
Wow, I didn't know Vito had that in him. That's a deceptively powerful athlete. He suplexed 400 pounds of the beast.
And judging by the reaction of Bigelow, I don't think he saw it coming, and Big Vito certainly didn't see that. Bam Bam, I'm not sure that was a plan, or he just accidentally made contact with the top rope.
Wait a minute.
Here we go.
Vito's up. It's the greetings from Asbury Park. Hello from the Garden State. It's academic and over. Bigelow wins it.
And that was the victory that Bam Bam Bigelow was looking for. The opportunity to climb the ranks in WCW, and he attained it. The greetings from Asbury Park proves the difference in this hard fight. Wait a minute.
Wow, hang on. Johnny the Bull. The tag team partner of Big Vito in the Mama Luke. Look at that coat. Wait a minute. Johnny, look at him with the bat. Bigelow saw it.
He didn't see it. Did he see him?
He did. He ducked the baseball bat shot.
That's a kendo stick.
It is a kendo stick. Johnny the Bull trying to pull the swerve and got swerved by the Beast.
The Beast, Bam Bam Bigelow, not only defeats Big Vito, but he also avoids the attack from Johnny the Bull. Looks like we might have a meeting of the minds here.
Nope, we can't have that. It's Vito and Johnny the Bull in the ring. But suffice to say, It's a meeting of the Mama Lukes. Bigelow is your winner, but this war will continue.
They're back. Well, that was just the latest chapter in the ongoing border war among residents of the states of New York and New Jersey. You know, it all started over the ownership of the Statue of Liberty. There's still heat over the fact that the New York Jets and the New York Football Giants play their games in New Jersey at the Meadowlands. And that matchup pitted Asbury Park, New Jersey resident Bam Bam Bigelow against Staten Island, New York's Big Vito. And we saw the return of Johnny the Bull as the former World Tag Team Champions, the Mama Lukes, were reunited.
The Mama Lukes back in the mix in the WCW tag team scene. Keep your eye out for the former champions over the next few months. Next week on this broadcast, what went down last Sunday night at Sin. We'll have complete results, all the historic news coming out of Indianapolis. We'll have it next week here. Picks, questions, exclusive action, it's all here. For Mike Tenay, I'm Scott Hudson. See you next week here on Worldwide. Gosh, sorry I'm late, y'all. Scott Hudson, WCW Worldwide. We're in my very own basement for this week. Hey, the big game is Sunday. I've got a little party going on. Some WCW guests are coming by later on. We're going to talk about what happened at WCW Sin, a complete recap in this broadcast. We've also got news from WCW. We've got AskWCW.com. We've got the professor. I'm still waiting on Mike Tenay. Hang on a minute. Come in. It's open.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Mike, come on in.
Thank you, Scott.
Now, wait a minute. You've got a liter of drink in a 2-liter bottle and a half a tube of cookies.
You don't have to say thank you. I spared no expense once again.
Why did you in all that trouble?
Where is everybody?
They're not here yet.
What do you mean they're not here yet?
Well, they're coming, and you're late, too.
Well,
We've already started. I'm not going to tell you.
Did you invite the Nitro Girls?
Maybe.
Nitro Girl Maybe's going to be here?
Oh, there is no Nitro Girl Maybe, but some of them may show up. I don't know. I'll put the invite out. Listen. WCW Sin. Can you believe what happened in Indianapolis? Goldberg is gone.
I still can't get over it. You know, we all thought that Goldberg would continue with the winning streak, mow down the opposition, finally break his record, get a shot at the world's heavyweight title. Of course, it didn't happen. He lost at Sin. His WCW career is history. I guess we should have seen it coming. I never saw it. The mastermind behind all of it, none other than the dirtiest player in the game, the boss, Ric Flair.
How many years have we seen Ric Flair time and time again show us there is nobody dirtier in this sport than him? I thought he was over it. New CEO, new boss, new suit, new power. I thought it was over. Now we know better. Scott Steiner's still the world champion, but Goldberg is gone. We've got new champions up and down the line. Ming is now the hardcore champion.
Right.
The franchise Shane Douglas, the U.S. champion.
How about the new tag champions?
Of course, but it's due to Flair.
Of course, the Natural Born Thrillers, they defeated the Insiders because of one man. The catalyst behind all of this, Ric Flair.
And Scott Steiner, as I said earlier, still the world champion, but you got to give that to Ric Flair, too.
That's right. He had the deck stacked once again. He was behind the mystery man, that opponent. We thought that was to counter Scott Steiner. Someone to take the title from Big Papa Pump, but then Big Road Warrior Animal returned to World Championship Wrestling, and he's on the same side. He's on Team Flair.
I had not heard Road Warrior Animal's name mentioned in any way, shape, form, or fashion for that role. We heard the rumors,
why it was such a surprise.
But we'd never thought it would be him. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's go back and roll tape. This is from Indianapolis. This is Sin Sunday. Do you mind getting your feet off my table?
Well, you said to make yourself at home.
It's not Giovanni's house, for Pete's sake. Show a little decorum. Anyway, did you see what we just saw with Ric Flair and Scott Steiner?
Yeah, can you believe those two? Never. I mean, think of all the heat that they had through the years, both on camera as well as backstage. No, I never expected those two to be on the same team.
We've got to update everybody on Sid. Now, you saw him in the ring, and the truth is this. Clean break of the tibia and the fibula in his left leg.
And, you know, immediately after the Sin main event, Sid was put in an ambulance, taken to a local hospital, 2.5 hours of surgery. They inserted the rod in his leg. I guess the year 2001 for Sid, as far as wrestling goes, well, he's just not going to be able to compete in WCW. He's going to be out for about a year.
Wow, unbelievable. I understand that he is already putting some pressure on that leg, so the prognosis is good, but Sid's done for at least the rest of 2001. Ric Flair. I can't say enough about how disappointed I am in the CEO.
Can you believe it? Ric Flair, again, the man behind all of this. All the title changes. Of course, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, that's a title that didn't change. He remains the world's heavyweight champion.
Who knows what's going to happen next with Ric Flair at the... Hang on, at the door? Hang on a minute. I'll tell you what, we're up for a break. I'm going to check the door. When we come back, we'll see who's at the party. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Hang on, I'm coming. Hey, guys. Oh, it's Nadia and Shay. Please, come on in, guys.
The Nitro Girls are here. Welcome, everyone. Big game weekend. We've got all kinds of snacks and beverages for you. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Plenty of food, plenty of beverages.
You weren't kidding.
Of course, only the best.
This is going to be a
Sorry, I had to
party.
Can you get that, Mike? God, I'm beat.
No. This is your party, pal. I'm a little busy. You answer the door. Do you think I am the doorman around here or something?
Help. Hang on a sec.
Crazy? Yeah, sure.
Oh, Miss Jones of the commission. Hi. Oh, Miss Jones, you look tremendous.
How you going to invite me here and not open the door? Open the door.
I'm sorry.
now.
I've got the... Oh, no.
The commissioner's here. Hello, Commish.
Man,
welcome.
beat it.
You know, I never liked that Mike Sanders anyway.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
come
too
on
bad.
in. I tell you what, I'm going to let you sit in my chair.
Your chair?
Oh, yeah, right here.
So you two guys live here together?
No. It's just a party. But
What kind of party?
Sit down.
Yeah, that's what
Enjoy
I'm
yourself.
What is this, man?
This is my big game party. The big game is Sunday night.
Well, I mean, what kind of place is this
It's
right
my
here?
basement. I mean, it's
basement.
not much, but it's home.
So your mom upstairs, huh?
That's my wife.
Yo, I'm okay, man. Yeah.
Please, tonight, would you please look after Nadia and Shay?
I can take care of it.
I should get paid by the hour.
Come on, man. What's going on?
Look,
here?
I brought you here because I wanted to ask you
No,
about...
you didn't bring me here, man. I paid $2.50 per gallon. Hey, man, get out of my face, man. Let the man talk. He got something to
Please. Kat, you were in the NFL.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
You trained in the martial arts, world champion.
You better believe it.
You've been a professional wrestler. It all culminated since Sunday. You got the commissionership back.
Man, you know, it's about time, too, man. You know, that job fit me just fine. I'm the greatest, and I should be at the top.
Absolutely. And that commissionership, the power that...
Ryan's?
Tanae!
Can you do something about this? I'm leaving.
Please, Commissioner, I'm sorry, please.
I don't want you to leave.
All right,
Get
get out
Ryan's out of here.
Yeah.
Be Julia Child. Now, the power that you have as commissioner, you marry that up with Rick Steiner, Kevin Nash, and Diamond Dallas Page. Your power is all that stands
That's
between Ric Flair
all-star team,
and
man.
tyranny.
That's an all-star team. Can't nobody stop us.
No, but
Ric Flair, all those bombs he got in there, they can't stop us.
Exactly.
Hey, how's your sweet tooth? How about a kiss?
First of all, man, this why y'all got me here in the basement? I don't play this, man.
Commissioner,
Miss Jones, let's go. I don't play that.
Please, Miss Jones, please,
You
please
two
stay,
guys
please.
come in here. I leave at the you two guys. Somebody call.
He meant the chocolate kind of kiss.
Somebody call my mama.
So you call your mama?
Come on.
He didn't mean that kind of kiss. Ernest,
Call your mama. I've got the phone right here for you. Commissioner?
Mike,
I've got the phone for him.
Please. Oh, boy, we'll try to get the commissioner back. I tell you what, let's go back to...
have Mrs. Miller's phone number.
Let's go back to Fort Wayne, Indiana. This was the Nitro in the aftermath of sin. It's the funeral for Bill Goldberg. Commissioner. Battle lines clearly being drawn in World Championship Wrestling. On one side, the Cat, the commissioner and his power. Ric Flair, the CEO, the boss on the other. A clash is coming between those two massive, powerful men in World Championship Wrestling. No doubt about it. Girls, please, have a seat. You found the food finally. Tanae, of course, no help as usual. Speaking of Tanae, he's upstairs trying to convince the Cat and Miss Jones to come back to the party. I hope he's successful. Miss Jones is up next in AskWCW.com. Stay with us. What a question. Well, we tried. Miss Jones was supposed to be here for the AskWCW.com question, but...
Not to worry. The professor has come through again. Come on, Ms. Jones. Yeah, stay a while. Let me take your jacket.
Thank you so much. Have a seat. Commissioner, please, have a seat. Thank you. I apologize for Mike
keep
Tanae.
that chump away from me.
Don't worry.
Okay?
That will not be a problem. Thank you very much,
Next
sir,
time
for coming back.
I leave, I'm not coming back now. You
I understand that. I appreciate you coming back.
I don't like your basement anyway.
Well, I'm sorry. I did the best I could. I had limited budget. All right, Miss Jones, it's AskWCW.com time. What happens is we get a question from fans, and we've got a question here. It's from Jason Lindsay in Odenton, Maryland. His question for you is this, a three-parter. Who or what got you involved in wrestling? Have you ever been in any other wrestling organization? And are you married to the Cat? It's what he wrote. Cat, I'm sorry, it's the question.
Well, first of all, I was a Nitro Girl before I was Miss Jones, the Nitro Girl Chameleon. I competed in the Atlanta Nitro Girl Search. Did a Nitro Girl for about 7 months, and then I changed over to Miss Jones.
Okay.
I've never been any other wrestling organization as I know of, and I don't have any rings on my finger either, so we just have a working relationship.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you married to Mike Tenay?
No, not for $5.
Okay, then. How about
Absolutely.
$10? In Vegas, you can get it for $10. You know that, right?
I've heard that.
Okay,
I've
then.
heard that about him.
Stay out of my business, man, before I knock you out.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Later on in this broadcast, we're going to have the Professor's Pick of the Week. Mike Tenay is going to have some stuff. We've got exclusive action still to come later. We've got more guests. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here on Worldwide. Sorry about that last question. I don't know. You never know who's going to write in. Welcome back to Worldwide. We like to call this the contractual obligation segment. We have to run it, so we might as well. I'm looking forward to this one, though. It's the Professor's Pick of the Week. Take it away, Mike.
And Scott Hudson, we have here at the party none other than Johnny the Bull. Johnny, welcome to Scott Hudson's big game weekend party. And the Professor's Pick is a matchup that involves you, and we want to talk about the year 2001. I'm sure anybody in WCW, much like yourself, looking forward to 2001, but especially you after a very difficult year 2000.
Absolutely. You know, the year 2000 was just, I had a string of bad luck, and hopefully I got it all out of my system, all the injuries out. I mean, it was back-to-back. I mean, I was out for a period of 4 months, so they were very painful injuries.
Injury in Australia?
Broken fibula in Australia, and before that, ruptured bladder and a torn urethra.
You know, I know this may be difficult for you to look at, but it is the Professor's Pick of the Week, so we do have to go back and take a look at that matchup with Terry Funk where you were injured. Let's do it right now. We're going to take you back to July the 3rd of the year 2000. Charleston, West Virginia, in a matchup involving Terry Funk and Johnny the Bull. Send us there, Johnny.
Terry Funk is...
Johnny, I know that had to be very difficult for you to watch.
I mean, that's really the first time I've seen that because I was too afraid to look at it. It was so painful. I didn't want to see it.
I know one of the things in the year 2001 that you're looking forward to is a reunion with Big Vito as part of the Mama Luke's tag team.
Absolutely. I think we're going to go all the way to the top. Gold. You know, I stay ready. And when you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So
sure. Gunning for championship gold. Scott Hudson, what's up next on Worldwide?
Mike, when we come back to WCW Worldwide, it's going to be the...
Man, before I got to go take care of some official business, okay? And it's
please, Commissioner.
And it's not making you a new toupee, okay? I got to
please,
go.
that's got to be high on your priority list.
Can I get your...
Please. When we come back to Worldwide, we've got late-breaking WCW news. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to Worldwide, everybody. It's big game this Sunday. A little party here in my basement. You can see Miss Jones playing backstage assault over at the television. The commissioner himself is upstairs. Had to make a telephone call. Lots of commissioner work to do. We've got other guests maybe showing up later on. Hey, don't forget, WCW crossover publicity going through the roof. February 1st, you don't want to miss Charmed on the WB. Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell showing up with the beautiful Alyssa Milano on Charmed. That's February 1st. And February 1st on A&E. It's Behind Closed Doors with Joan London. She's at the WCW Power Plant getting all the inside gaga. Mark your calendar, February 1st, big night for WCW. And as you can see, we are also joined still by Mike Tenay and the beautiful Shay and Nadia of the Nitro Girls. Tenay,
what?
Do you get paid to read a magazine?
This isn't a magazine. This is the new WCW Ultimate Guide.
Looking at the Nitro Girls.
That's a great... I apologize, Shay. Nadia, I'm sorry. Tenay.
I'll accept your apology.
Get them a drink. Come on, get some food, get some bugles going for Pete's sake. Be a good co-host.
Get the snacks.
Get me a drink, too, while you're up.
All right.
Do you mind?
I don't mind. God, it's tough.
Sorry, I'm not letting him have this seat. Shay, let me ask you something. You've been a Nitro Girl for 3.5 years. We got the big game Sunday night in Tampa. Tampa's one of the great WCW towns. What's a Tampa memory from the Nitro Girls?
Number one, Tampa's always beautiful. Doesn't matter what time of the year, it's just a great place to go. The best, I would have to say, our first swimsuit video shoot. They rented us a house on the beach, and it was like a whole bonding weekend, and you wish you would have been there. We had about 100 bathing suits spread all over the bed, and the girls were trying to, just trying from bikinis on and trying to figure out what they want to wear for the shoot the next day.
Spread out on the bed? Whoa, what's the story with the seating arrangements here? I walk away to get you guys some snacks, and what is this, the perks of the party as far as the host is concerned?
It's my house.
Yeah, great.
For Pete's sake. Thanks for the drinks, too.
How about the new issue of WCW Magazine?
Gotta love it.
Unbelievable. The question and answer session with Scott Steiner, all the awards for the year 2000. You know, you had a chance to talk to Che. I think I deserve a little equal time. I was going through the magazine, and Nadia, there's a feature on you in here as well, newest member of the Nitro Girls.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah, and it mentions right here, favorite wrestler, Goldberg. I never miss one of his matches. Well, as we all know, you're not going to have that opportunity anymore to see Goldberg losing his WCW career. Nadia, what was it like? Take us back to that Sin Sunday and tell everyone what it was like backstage, the wrestlers, the Nitro Girls, when Goldberg lost his WCW career.
It's almost indescribable. There was a hush over the crowd. There were tears in the audience. There were tears backstage. We were all absolutely devastated. No one saw it coming, and I mean, I can't even say. I don't think WCW is ever going to be the same without him.
I think you're right. It had to be the most emotional night I think I've ever been associated with WCW.
We thought he would make it to 177-0 with no problem, and it all ended at Sin in Indianapolis. Che, what about you? What did you see in Indy?
You know what? Nobody expected him to lose. He always comes up on top, and it's just, I don't think we'll ever recover from it, the fans.
That's a good point. I don't think I'll ever recover from it. And Nadia, obviously, her favorite man gone from World Championship Wrestling. Let's bring it back up a little bit. The big game's coming up. And before we get to the big game, how about some exclusive worldwide action? When we come back, it's going to be Chronic against Ming and Kwee-Wee. Your favorite today, Kwee-Wee in action. It's all coming up next on Worldwide. Stay with us.
It's kind of a strange tag team if you think about it. I mean, think of the contrasting hairstyles alone.
Chronic? They look just alike.
Oh, Ming and Kwee-Wee.
I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh, you're difficult to work with.
Hey, Tanae.
Hey, what?
How's my hair looking?
How's your hair look? It's non-existent.
Perfect. I just want to make sure I look my best for Paisley.
What is that? Paisley? Well, here she comes.
I know. How do I look?
You look terrible as always.
Oh, you're no help. Kwee-Wee and Ming. Ming, of course, the hardcore champion, winning it on Sin Sunday. Understand he's having the belt resized.
Oh, to fit him. He's so big, you mean? That's what you're talking about?
No, he's having it resized to fit over his mantle.
Now, this is wrestling's odd couple, if there's ever been one. I still don't quite understand this association between
Paisley and Kwee-Wee look great together.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about them. Of course they do. They're pretty in pink, but I'm talking about Ming and Kwee-Wee.
I am telling Karen you called Kwee-Wee pretty. Here comes Chronic. Brian Adams and Brian Clark, two of the most amazing, dominating physical specimens this sport has to offer.
And as the battle lines are being drawn in World Championship Wrestling, it's becoming very obvious where Chronic stands as of late. Yeah, it is all about Chronic, and here come Big Brian Clark and Big Brian Adams to the ring.
Big is right. Both men over 6'5", Clark at 6'7". And I mean both men put together.
Ripped to shreds.
Adonises, carved out of stone. Ming and Kwee-Wee, no small potatoes themselves, but are dwarfed by Chronic. This is going to be a heck of a matchup.
You know, I'm starting to worry, though, about these battle lines and Chronic's alliance as of late with the Cat. You remember their motto, breaking necks, cashing checks?
Yeah.
Well, what about Ric Flair? The way that the devious one, Ric Flair, has been operating as of late, wouldn't surprise me to see maybe him sweeten the pot a little bit, maybe to get Chronic to come over to his side and away from the Cat, Ernest Miller.
I don't know. Usually money talks and you know what else walks. But Chronic has shown me a little moxie of late, a little ethical morality.
Oh,
they may not take Flair's dirty money. That was Ming getting shoulder blocked. Unreal.
I don't recall Ming ever being taken down that easily with one shoulder block. No effect with that headbutt, but certainly effect with that kick that sent Brian Adams up and over the top rope, tumbling down to the floor.
Oh, Ming looked like he was seconds away from a slingshot maneuver on Adams, and he sidestepped it. Good call. Boy, Paisley looks tremendous. Oh, she just got a glimpse of me. That's why she's smiling.
No. She was looking across the ring at Brian Clark, I think.
Wait a minute. Clark? Collar and elbow tie up Brian Clark and Ming. Ming, of course, the hardcore champion. Chronic at the top of the tag team hunt. The new, thumb in the eye.
Follows up with a knee to the midsection, now repeatedly. Oh, and the knife edge chop. And again. We know why she was trying to make eye contact with Brian Clark.
Why?
A distraction.
I guess
what she does best.
Look at this one, Ming. Oh, those are some chops across the chest, the massive chest of Brian Clark. Ming sets Clark, shoots him across into the ropes. Clark up top, what a power slam. Ming across, lateral press, and Adams breaks it up at 2.
Continued great teamwork on the part of Chronic. The timing of Brian Adams in just at the right split second to break up the tag. And now the double headbutt as Ming turns things over to Kwee-Wee.
Wait a minute.
It looks like we might see a little of Angry Allen right there with those rights and lefts.
I think you're onto something. I think Kwee-Wee's lost it already. Wait a minute. Reversal. Irish whip into the corner. Comes out. Ducks a clothesline. Look at Kwee-Wee go. Rattling off into the rock-hard arms of Clark. Reversal. Back into the ropes. Uh-oh. This is going to leave a mark. Shoulder breaker from Brian Clark.
Took him up tilt-a-whirl style and then dropped him down stomach first across the knee.
Clark, ooh! Doubles up Kwee-Wee into the ropes. Doubles him up one more time. Now look at, Clark sets
Be careful.
Oh!
What a sensational move that is.
A Uranagi overhead suplex, but Ming breaks up the pin attempt. That was something spectacular from Clark. Just ask Kwee-Wee, or what's left of it.
Yeah, I don't think Kwee-Wee's about ready to answer at this point. And here's the great tags, the quick tags, the cohesion in the team, the unity of Chronic, and the double shoulder block takes Kwee-Wee down.
Kwee-Wee went hard. Brian Adams picks him up. That's the only way. Kwee-Wee's vertical shoots him across into the ropes, and Adams doubles him up again. Watch Adams. Oh, right hand.
Measured him off the ropes and connected to the side of the head with a vicious right hand. Kwee-Wee's in trouble here.
Kwee-Wee needs to make the tag to the hardcore champion. Look.
Well, a punch like that to the side of the head is going to knock your equilibrium crazy.
His who?
Well, it's equilibrium. You see, he has to have a difficult time just even getting to his feet.
Kwee-Wee across. Oh, Kwee-Wee got the boot up in the face of Adams. Kwee-Wee, this may be a mistake. Crossbody, it was. Adams caught him in midair into the backbreaker.
Went airborne, committed himself, and that can often be a problem, and he just tossed him overhead. That's a throwaway slam.
Brian Adams and Brian Clark, so powerful in that ring, but look at me. Maybe the strongest man pound for pound in WCW.
Oh, maybe the toughest fighter pound for pound.
Oh! Shoulder high backbreaker on Kwee-Wee. Lateral press far leg hooked and no. Kwee-Wee, I wouldn't call that a kick out. That was really more of a, I think Adams was toying with him with that pin attempt.
Barely an escape out of the pinfall, able to duck the clothesline. Springing into the sunset flip. Can he get the big man over? I don't think so.
What balance shown by Adams. No. Kwee-Wee, just too quick. Adams. Kwee-Wee roll through. Tag made to Ming. Ming's in the house. Here's the champion of the hardcore division. Chopping the life out of Chronic. Down goes Clark.
Whoa.
Adams doubled up. Headbutt from Ming and down goes Adams.
Yeah, quickly O'Brien Clark back up to his feet. Now both members of Chronic go head first. Look at Ming. Scoop. Brian Adams tried to block it. Ming not taking no for an answer. Brian Clark slammed to the mat.
He just slammed both members of Chronic successively. Oh, no.
Somersault flip attempt
off the ropes by Ming. Unbelievable, but he missed it. Double boot to the shoulders of Ming by Chronic.
Oh, that was a mistake. Do what you do best. Don't try a cruiserweight move like that. Here it is on the way.
High time. No! Kwee-Wee. Kwee-Wee broke up the high time.
Well, Ming knows that his partner was looking out for him. Now all four men in the battle. Referee has lost total control here. Out of the full Nelson. Brian Adams takes Kwee-Wee up. The full Nelson slam. Look at this. Ming's got the Tongan death grip on Brian Clark.
He's neutralizing Clark.
Who's the legal men here?
Who knows? Now Adams outside with Clark. I think that's a mistake by Chronic. I think Kwee-Wee is ripe for the picking. But they're outside with Ming. Clark still showing the after effects of the Tongan death grip. They're going to take Ming and oh! He hit the pole.
Shoulder first into that steel ring post. Ming has been knocked out here on the floor. Now are they going to double team Kwee-Wee? In the ring, Brian Adams.
He's still down.
Headed up to the top. Brian Clark. Paisley looks on. She sees that this team is in trouble.
She's worried, and she should be. Watch Clark from high atop. Kwee-Wee, shoulder high. Good night. Clothesline into a power bomb by Chronic. What a maneuver. 2 and 3. Pulling something out of the arsenal that we haven't seen in a while. Chronic will win it.
Yeah, they didn't rely on the high times to score this win. They used the double team tactics, however, and Chronic scores another impressive victory.
Brian Clark and Brian Adams, an impressive combination. Kwee-Wee still out. What a win.
Brian Adams and Brian Clark, Chronic, that is an impressive tag team.
Scott, it used to be about breaking necks and cashing checks, but as of late, a little change of heart for Chronic now that they've aligned themselves with the Commissioner, the Cat.
Of course, we're going to see a lot of changes over the next couple of weeks in WCW, months too. We're running out of time for the big game party. Let me say thanks to my guests, the beautiful, it's open, come in, the beautiful Nadia and Shay, the Nitro Girls, Johnny the Bull. Tony, yeah,
Hey,
come on. Tony, where you been?
Come on in, buddy.
Hey, girl.
About time you got here.
I have been at the Worldwide Studio since early this morning.
Where? Why? At the studio?
That's where the party was, right? I mean,
I faxed you a map.
You don't have a fax machine.
I called Lois and Critter all week and left message after message. You not get them?
The day shot. I got them in the car. Forget about it. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, Tony, don't. Come on, stay. Tony,
Don't worry about Tony.
Thanks a lot, Tanae. For Mike Tanae, I'm Scott Hudson. We'll see you next week here on Worldwide. Tony! Tony, look, would you... What? My God almighty. Tony!
What's he doing?